welcome to Alec Shed. Today I'll be demonstrating one of the solos from my band Cruelty Exalted. The song is called Caelum Incendebat, and it's a pretty cool solo. It's one of my favorites to play. This is also the first in an installment of an ongoing instructional series I'll be doing, featuring other solos I have done and other more general theory and technique tips and tricks. So without further ado, let's rock and roll. So the lick I'm playing under for the solo is in the key of D minor, and it's a pretty straightforward tremolo picking riff. It goes like this. So there you have that riff right there. I'll also demonstrate the solo itself real quick so you know what to expect. So that's the solo right there. I'm going to break it down for you one piece at a time so you know what I'm doing. So the first lick I'm doing is a D minor triad, or D minor, kind of a pseudo sweep a little bit. It goes like this. So I'm starting on the 16th fret of the high E string there, and I'm doing sweeping. So one thing you need to know about sweeping is that it's one motion, kind of like how you would be strumming a chord. So you got the D minor chord, just go like that. So you don't really exert too much force doing it. Just make sure your pick is kind of slightly at an angle. You do like one motion like that, and also on the way back up. So it goes like that's the first lick. The next one is it's like a descending G minor pattern, starting on the 13th fret of the B string. It goes like. Like that. And then this next part is, well, the other lick kind of reminds me of like being in a cathedral, like organ playing that. That's the kind of vibe I get off from that. The next lick is in G minor. It's like a Marty Friedman cacophony sort of lick I do. That's it uses the Japanese pentatonic scale, which is something Marty Friedman used a lot, especially on his Dragon's Kiss album, and it's one of my personal favorites. I basically stole that lick from that album, more or less. So, but I did my own take on it, and it goes kind of like this. So, ending on the 11th fret of the B string there. And the next lick that's descending, the Japanese pentatonic scale, by the way, or at least in the key of D, it goes like this. So the lick goes. Ending on the D. One thing you should know, it's cool to know about the Japanese pentatonic scale, is that it's you can use it in an E minor context. So if you're in D minor, E minor, just take that key and then use the pattern from the Japanese pentatonic scale, and it gives off a really cool, like evil kind of sound. I used it a lot. I also use it in my other band, Calcemia. You'll hear some of my solos on that soon, and I'll do that. I'll play some of those solos on future installments as well. So the next lick in this the solos, it's going to be a little tricky because there's some pretty fast tapping here. So for those of you who are not used to tapping very fast and crazy all over the place, you know, this will be a good opportunity to improve your chops in that department. So I'll break it down for you right over here. starting on the 11th fret of the A string. I'm doing basically Lydian patterns. It goes like. Slowly it goes. So I'm using the 8th, 12th, 13th frets right there. Same thing on the D string. Like that, and then on the same, I use the same keys but on different octaves, starting on the 10th, 14th, 15th frets of the G string. So and then 11, 15, 16 on the B string. Like that. And then this descending pattern is a C melodic minor sort of lick tapping. I don't really use the melodic minor scale that much because it's usually used in the jazz context, but in this particular instance I thought it sounded really good, so I went ahead and kept it. And it goes like this. Starting on the A, the 17th fret of the high A string, I'm using the notes A, G, E flat, and C, and I do like. Like that. And then the last couple licks here, I do a mini sweep of sorts in the key of D minor. I go like. One thing to take note for that part is to make sure you watch your alternate picking technique because it does get a little tricky. So make sure to play these licks. Not just this lick, but for any lick you have trouble with in the future, always start off slowly. Make sure you can play it at a reasonable tempo. If you can do that with 100 BPM, then move it up to 110, 120, etc. And then you'll be blazing through those licks like nothing. So this next part, so I'll demonstrate that last lick one more time. The very last thing I do is a harmonic minor D run. It's pretty easy, easy in the sense that it's only on one string. It goes like this. I'll play it slowly. Like that. And one final note to make about that part, when you're doing that tapping harmonic, it's on. I'm playing that D on the 10th fret of the high E string, and I'm tapping 12 frets above on the D on the 22nd fret. Make sure not to hit that note too hard. Just do it with authority. Play it strongly and confidently, but kind of think of it like it's a hot surface, like a kettle or a hot pan. You're just checking the temperature, and then when you realize like it's hot, you pull away. That's kind of how I look at it. So yeah, that's the whole solo right there. I hope that was informative, and I hope you learned something today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe this channel for more content in the future. Thanks for checking out Alex Shred Shed, and stay rock and roll, brother. Keep practicing. Peace.